okay, let's create a TikTok logo. So first and foremost, let's try and see the quick way that people tend to do. If you've got the SVG importer enabled, you can come here, go Scalable Graphics, SVG, import the TikTok logo. It is tiny. Let's delete all the parts we don't want. And the nice thing here is, whoa, where have you gone to? Nice thing here is that you can sort of select everything, go down to your curves menu because it is a curve, and kind of just extrude it. You can't see much here, but let's do it again. And have a look. You see you can have different parts of the logo just being extruded, and maybe that's the effect that you want. If you go back to the top, it still looks like a TikTok logo, but the problem is when you start moving things around, it just sort of breaks apart, and that might not be the thing that you want. So let's try doing this a different way. Instead, I'm going to import an image as plain TikTok logo. This one is massive. Okay, material preview. And actually, if you notice, there is two parts to the logo. There's this red part, there's the blue part, and the parts where they intersect with one another end up becoming white. And that's the effect we're trying to replicate today. So let's try by first modeling the red part. So I'm going to move my 3D cursor here. At a mesh plane, it's probably rotated or it's too big. Let's see, yeah, there you go. Let's move you in front a bit. Make it smaller. Okay, tap to edit mode. Move you to the right, move you up, and then the bottom part here, I'm going to move it all the way down just till it gets to the bottom of the curve here. Now there's a couple of ways you can go about making this curve portion. You could shift right click and sort of get equidistant sizes, make it go all the way around, and then just bevel all the edges there. But the other way I found that's really much quicker and maybe a bit better as well, it's move your 3D cursor over here so that it's in the middle of where this little circle looks, so it'll curve around it. Go to the spin tool, and then just have it curve. And as you see, it goes all the way around. If you need to adjust it after the fact, don't worry. Once you've extruded the circle out, bring your cursor over to the 3D cursor here, and you can move it about like this. With that done, let's press 1 to go into vertex mode. Just clean this part up a bit. And there you go. You've got that part sorted. So Control R, let's create an edge loop over here, bring this up here and do this part as well. For this, let's do it slightly differently. I'm going to press E to extrude, move it down, and let's just scale it down so it roughly fits. E to extrude, scale it so it fits. E to extrude. Let's try and make this fit. Once it's roughly aligned, select the two edges here, Shift B to bezel, give it a curve, and there you go. You've got a TikTok logo. But it could look a little bit better. The curve part particularly is not very smooth. So I'm going to press Ctrl 2 to give it a subdivision modifier at the level of 2. The problem here, of course, is that it looks a bit too curved where you don't want it to be. So press Tab to go into edit mode, 2 to select the edges, and select all the edges where you want it to be sharp. Let's say this ones, these ones, and these ones. Shift E for edge crease, and then move it to the right, and it's nice and sharp. So what you've done really is, if you press N, come here, look at your items, you've added a crease of 1. If I move it to 0, move it to 1, it's doing the exact same thing. So there you go, you've got your TikTok logo. But now let's add some color to it. Let's add something new. I'm going to call this red. Instead of using Principled BSDF, where it sort of ends up with shadows and issues, let's just use a emission shader. So the color looks exactly the way we want it to be. Let's sample the red from this. You see, it's red. Okay, so we need the red, we need the blue. Let's Shift D, duplicate this. Let's do it here instead. You've got a number 2, so this is using the same color slot. If I try to change this, it'll change both. I don't want that. Press the 2 to make it its own thing. Let's call this blue. And instead of clicking this and going to the color dropper, I could also hover over this, press E. That selects the eyedropper as well. And there you go. You've got a red and you've got a blue. So the question now is, how do I get it to be white in the places where it's overlapping? Well, to do this, the nice thing that we have is known as a light path node. So let's just add this light path, and I'll talk you through this by first duplicating another one of the red. Maybe it'll be a bit clearer if I have a visual. So duplicate this, bring it on top exactly where this red is. In fact, let's parent the both of this so that it's always moving together. Control P, parent. If you move this, this moves as well. And the blue is in between this red and this red. And what I'm going to do is, for this red, I am going to give you another new slot and call this the glass. Delete the emission node and instead give it a glass BSDF surface. And what happens? Do I need glass? Glass work, yeah. This will look better in rendered mode. So it won't really work in material preview. Do it in rendered mode. If you look through it, it looks almost like it's invisible, but that's fine. Don't worry about it. What we really want is to come here and use the light path node. Now, because this is glass, light will come through the glass. Anything that comes through the glass is seen as a transmission ray. So what I want it to do is to tell Blender that anything that is seen through this glass is going to be one color. Anything that is not going through the glass is another color. Okay, and to do that, the thing that needs to be changed is the blue here. So let's create one emission for blue, one more for white. Control Shift right click to mix it together, and the mixing factor needs to be the emission. No, let's see if I can. There, you see the effect is already there. Anything that's white is being seen through the glass. Anything that's black is not being seen through the glass. So if I mix this into the mix factor over here, and there you go, we have a TikTok logo. So what we can do is, if you select the blue one over here, maybe I should change it here so it's clear, red, glass. If I select the blue thing and I move it around, you can see whenever it's falling right under where the glass is, it's white. Anything that is not under the glass is blue, precisely like what this is saying. Is transmission ray. Is it falling under the glass? Yes or no? If it is, it's white. If it's not, it's blue. So what you've done is you've made yourself a TikTok logo. And what you can do is you can just render the animation so that you can have it superimposed at the end of your video or anywhere else in your video. If you want to do that, I'd recommend using either OpenEXR with alpha enable. Alpha is what gives you your transparent background, or PNG with alpha enable. Render it out. If you want a video for how to do this, let me know and I'll show you. Thanks for watching.